Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most polarizing topics in recent US politics, the January 6 pardons. On his first day in office in 2025, President Donald Trump issued sweeping clemency to nearly 1,500 people charged or convicted in the January 6, 2021 Capitol attack. Some call it justice, arguing these individuals were unfairly prosecuted. Others see it as political revenge, a dangerous move that undermines accountability. What's the truth? Was this a bold correction of overreach by the Justice Department, or a calculated act to rewrite history and embolden political violence? In this video, we'll break down the facts, explore both sides, and hear from key voices. Stick around and let's get started. Let's rewind to January 6, 2021. That day, thousands of Trump supporters gathered in Washington, D.C. to protest the certification of the 2020 election results. What started as a rally spiraled into chaos as rioters breached the U.S. Capitol, clashing with police, smashing windows, and disrupting Congress. The attack left 5 people dead, including a Capitol police officer, and injured over 140 officers. The Justice Department launched the largest prosecution in its history, charging nearly 1,600 people with crimes ranging from trespassing to assaulting police and seditious conspiracy. Over 1,270 were convicted, with sentences varying from probation to decades in prison. High-profile cases included Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio, who got 22 years, and Jacob Chansley, the QAnon shaman, sentenced to 41 months. Fast forward to January 20, 2025. Hours after his inauguration, President Trump pardoned or commuted the sentences of about 1,100 of these defendants, dismissing pending cases and freeing those already convicted, except for 14 charged in major seditious conspiracy cases. This move shocked the nation. Why did he do it, and what does it mean? Let's dig in. Supporters of the January 6 pardons argue they're a necessary act of justice. They claim the prosecutions were politically motivated, targeting Trump loyalists to punish dissent. Here's their perspective. First, they argue many defendants were overcharged. Non-violent protesters who entered the Capitol, often without clear intent to disrupt, faced felony charges like obstruction of an official proceeding. Some say this was a heavy-handed tactic to inflate conviction numbers. Second, they point to prison conditions. Trump himself called the facilities filthy and disgusting, claiming defendants endured inhumane treatment for years. Supporters say these political prisoners were unfairly demonized as insurrectionists when many were just caught up in the moment. Third, there's the narrative of selective prosecution. They ask, why weren't Black Lives Matter or Antifa protesters from 2020 pursued with the same zeal? To them, the January 6 cases reek of double standards, weaponizing the justice system against conservatives. Finally, Trump's defenders frame the pardons as a constitutional right. Presidents have broad clemency powers, and Trump's move aligns with his campaign promise to free the January 6 hostages. Supporters like Jacob Chansley, who celebrated his pardon on X, see it as vindication. But is this really about justice, or is there more to the story? Let's look at the other side. Critics of the pardons see them as political revenge, a dangerous precedent that threatens democracy. Here's why. First, they argue the pardons reward violence. Hundreds of those pardoned were convicted of assaulting police, using deadly weapons, or destroying property. Former Capitol Police Officer Winston Pingen told Sky News, "Violent criminals are now being returned to their neighborhoods," warning that this gives political violence a free pass. Second, prominent Republicans, including Mitch McConnell and Susan Collins, have broken ranks to condemn the move. They argue it sends a terrible message to law enforcement, especially the officers who risked their lives on January 6th. Former VP Mike Pence, who received the JFK Profile in Courage Award for his actions that day, said Trump's pardons sent the wrong message. Third, critics fear the pardons embolden extremist groups. The Proud Boys and other far-right organizations already linked to the riot could see this as a green light for future violence. Legal experts told Al Jazeera that freeing figures like Enrique Tarrio risks fueling white supremacist and militia movements. Finally, there's the timing. Trump's pardons came amid calls to jail political opponents like Liz Cheney, who investigated January 6th. Critics see this as an attempt to rewrite history, framing rioters as patriots while punishing those who sought accountability. As Judge Beryl Howell put it, no process of national reconciliation can begin when poor losers are glorified for disrupting Congress. So, what's at stake here? The January 6 pardons aren't just about 1,500 individuals. They're about the future of American democracy. If the justice system is seen as a tool for political vendettas, trust in institutions crumbles. If violent acts go unpunished, it could normalize political extremism. On the flip side, if prosecutions are perceived as biased, it deepens division and fuels distrust among millions who feel their voices are silenced. Both sides have valid concerns, but the truth likely lies in the gray area. The challenge is balancing accountability with fairness without tearing the country apart. The pardons also raise questions about the presidency's power. Should one person have unchecked authority to override years of legal work? And what happens if future presidents follow this playbook, pardoning allies or punishing enemies? The January 6 pardons have reignited a fierce debate. Justice or political revenge? There's no easy answer, but one thing's clear. This moment will shape how we handle political dissent and violence moving forward. What do you think? Are these pardons a correction of injustice or a step toward chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. If you found this video insightful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into the issues that matter. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and let's keep the conversation going. Stay curious, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.